Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and this is another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today guys, game 3 of a best of 3, it all comes down to this. It's from the Zotac Cup. Let me introduce these two brilliant players in the low left position. We do have XMG's Monchi, the green Protoss player. In the top right position, EmpireBeasty, the yellow Terran. And the map of course is GSL version of Daybreak. Oh, I'm excited. Game 1, Game 2, they were amazing. If you haven't watched them, pause the video and go and give them a watch on my channel. If you have watched them, then you'll know Game 1, it was all about the 1-1-1 from Beastie. It didn't work. Monchi, he defended it like a boss. It was a bit hair-raising at some points. It was nail-biting close, but, well, he pulled it off. Game 2, well, that was like the complete opposite. They were just like, we're going to expand, and just pretend we don't have an opponent for the first, like, good 10 minutes of the game. Then, it really all came down to the fact that Monchi really terribly missed micro one of his Colossi in a big push, and Vikings just mowed it down. Then Beastie just had a better attack angle all the way through, and Beastie also was simultaneously doing a double drop in his natural base and killed it off. So, unfortunately, the only downside to that game was I couldn't watch both the action of the big fight and also the drop at the same time because they were both over and done with literally in seconds, which is always disappointing, and when you wish that you could have like split screen, because I wish you could see all of that action because it was pretty intense. Now, game 3, what can we expect? Well, really, I have no clue. Neither player has shown any kind of consistency. They're both going for different outbuilds. The big thing is, though, this comes down to this match. So, I don't think we'll see either player do anything too risky. Neither one of them have been too keen on going completely bonkers. As I say that, Beastie going for what I can only describe as a hidden command center first build. I'm just going to build it in the middle here, because I can't decide whether I want to take my natural or third, so I'll just put it here and float it to one on the other, depending on how I feel. That probe's going to be so ridiculously confused. If it came over there and scouted it, it'd be absolutely hilarious. Will it pick it up? It doesn't look like it's going to. Will it? Oh my god, it does! That probe is like, hey, what? You built... Beastie, you build command centers here. Oh, that poor probe. He probably even felt bad for the Terran right there. Thinking like, oh god, who's telling you where to do this? Construction just isn't what it used to be. Now, obviously, down at Monchi's base, he's going for a Nexus. There we go, bang. So, one gate Nexus, a fairly standard opening. He's got the gas there as well, just with the 2 workers in it. So, just trickling in the gas, all nice and well. Looking down here, we've got the barracks coming in, and this is just sporadic building everywhere, just like, gonna build a barracks here, command center here. Next thing we'll see is the factory over here or something. You never know. That just may be the way it's going. The double gas following this up, always a good move. Get the double gas up, because obviously by going for a command center first build, you're going to be behind tech-wise. You want to get that tech tree going. Get the double gas. It basically allows you to catch up quicker to where you want to be, ideally. And economically, you can afford to at this point as well, because you've got more SCVs out. So that is really just a breakdown of what's going on. Looking here, we've of course got the pylons coming down. Just really getting ready to build that wall off at the natural base. It'll be interesting to see how Monchi chooses to wall off. There's different ways you can go about it. On the one hand, you can just try and wall off there, and obviously there. The other way is you can wall off there and to the Nexus, and have just kind of like a weird path down there, which some Protoss players seem to like to do. It really just depends on what they're feeling like on the day. That command center coming over, it's now an orbital command though. Obviously you've got the bunker coming down, that's for defensive purposes, because if you ever go for command center first build, you need to get that bunker down to be safe. We do have the factory coming down here, and a reactor over there. So maybe Beastie just likes the animation of these production facilities flying. Maybe that's just what it is. He likes lifting them and watching them float across the screen, because the downside is, obviously, if these aren't going to get switched, which is always possible if he's not going for a Hellion type build, then it doesn't really matter that he's built them a long way away. But if they are getting switched, which they very well could be, then having them so far apart just means that you waste so much time floating that factory over, which can be a bit of a problem. But apparently that's not what we're going to see at all. We've got double marines coming out, we've got the factory getting down the tech lab, so it's going to be Banshee. And this is going to be very interesting to... Well, it's a 1-1-1 build again. It's just depending on how he chooses to go about. And now, obviously, this is all turning out to be really quite interesting. That SCV does get picked off. We do have the robotic facility coming down, so it was scouted. Obviously, the natural base scouted. So, to be honest, once you see the natural down already, you see the robotics facility. you know what your opponent's done. It's a 1-gate Nexus into Robo. That is, you can be pretty certain of that. There's not going to be anything else hiding there. There just isn't the money there for it. And that's really, if you take anything away from this cast and really what you think about when you're playing yourselves, for anyone who watches my games for that, when you're playing yourself and you're scouting, you're not looking for what your opponent has. You're looking at what he can't have because of that, basically, because unless you are playing against very, very low-level players and you're able to scout their base out completely at all points of the game, then there's always the possibility they've hidden something. So you've got to kind of work out, from what you've seen, what can't they have. Now, obviously the 4 gas up, it shows it's really, really tech-heavy at the moment. The fact there's 3 bunkers up here suggests a lot as well. The fact that there's a low number of infantry on the field at the moment says that the Terran player has been teching quite heavily. Now, as you can see, the robotic facility is out. We do have the observer on its way over. We've got the robotics bay on its way, so Colossus once again going to be very, very prominent from Monchi. We've got Cloak coming out, the 2 Banshees queued up, a Tech Lab coming down on the factory as well, so we may even see tanks, which again is less common in TVP, but not completely unheard of. The Banshee coming over, it's going to get spotted. That'd be incredibly frustrating if it did. Let's see. No, it doesn't. So it does manage to sneak through, but of course, the second that it's seen by the observer, it's going to be pretty obvious what's coming down. Obviously, the first Colossi on the way out, though. And looking here, we've got the 2 gateways on their way. We've got a lot of barracks in production now, and this is all due to the fact that Beastie has such a boss income in the start of the game. Looking down here, we've got Pylon blocking the 3rd. We've got a really defensive position. It's quite turtled up. Now, this Banshee is where most of the action is going to be for the next couple of, well, next minute or so. And, well, already it's doing some good damage. Cloak is finished. It's getting quite a few kills before Cloak is even down. Now, due to the fact that that Colossus isn't finished, that's more timing. A sentry gets picked off. Now, the annoying thing about this is you don't want to cancel that Colossus because it took so long to produce to get that far. So it's quite a big wait until actually the observer comes out and you're able to deal with those Cloak Banshees. And as you can see, 10 kills now on this Banshee. It has more than paid for itself. This is absolutely brilliant play right now. And just really unfortunate for Monchi, to be honest, because he's losing so much. 13, 14. Definitely going to see 14 kills, 15 kills now on it, so that is pretty sick. Meanwhile, we've got another Banshee ready to go into the main base. In terms of counter-aggression, we're not really seeing anything, but 15 workers killed. That takes the work count and actually puts BC ahead now, which is exactly where he wants to be. We've now got some aggression poking in. I'm surprised that Banshee pulled back there because the Observer is still chilling, but a second Observer is now out. So that is kind of an end to the Banshee play at the moment. It's not going to be able to do much more as it stands. Looking here, we've got some infantry moving out. Just the 1 Marine, which is now going to end up dead. That is very unfortunate, and that is a very painful death indeed. Just literally chopped in half, which is not a fun way to go, I would imagine. Looking here, obviously we've got, well, we didn't actually get any tanks. So what was upgraded? Now I'm just really confused. What was that? The factory was just powering add-ons. Silly me. You can tell I don't play Terran at all. I only play Zerg and Protoss, so sorry for that complete slip up there. But looking here, of course, we've got Extended Thermal Lance coming down. We've got quite a good number of Colossi. Supply block, though, for Monchi. You can't afford to be doing that. Now, there's no Observer over here either, which means that Banshee can start going to town on all of this. We've got a second Banshee coming in. This double Banshee harassment is going to be very, very frustrating to deal with. One Stalker falls. The second Stalker getting really focused down as well. That Banshee needs to get pulled back. You need some good micro here. And, well, the Banshees, still, every unit they pick off without dying is good times, as you can see. In terms of how cost-effective Beastie's being, he's not really lost anything yet, but has done, well, 1,400 resources worth of damage to his opponent. This Marine Marauder ball getting way, way bigger. We've got Vikings already on their way out. The only thing really missing is the Medivacs. No Medivacs at all, but the Viking number's really up high already. 6 Vikings on the field. These Colossi are not going to have fun times. And again, as we saw in Game 2, that's where real big problems are coming. We're getting even 4 Vikings at a time now. The third base on its way out. We've got that factory in the centre. Third base as well, though, for Monchi. So both players expanding at a similar time. Actually, incredibly similar. Only about 4 seconds between them. So this is all good. It's really setting us up for slightly later game engagements. Neither player probably going to want to engage quite yet. I mean, Beastie is getting everything out he needs. He's getting really quite a high number of Vikings. One might actually argue that's slightly too many. And there we go. He is now switching back. He's going to get 10 Vikings and switching to the Medevac production. I was going to say, more than that, you're just opening yourself up to a tech switch from the Protoss player, which admittedly isn't super easy, but if they do transition into High Templar with Storm, and you've got like 15, 20 Vikings, they're then suddenly pretty much useless and you look a bit of a fool and you die, ultimately. Which is why these scans going off are so important. Seeing the tech that's coming down. Double upgrades coming out for Monchi, of course. They are the 2-2 upgrades. Meanwhile, only the +1 infantry on the way, +1 infantry weapons is already done, so Monchi is going to take the upgrade advantage, but the force advantage is definitely there for Beasty. The supply says all of that. In terms of the worker count, incredibly similar when you factor mules in. Beasty probably slightly ahead in terms of the income. Actually, no, Monchi is ahead. That's because so many scans are going down right now. And, well, here we go. The Vikings moving forward. Stalkers are getting picked off. The Banshees helping as well. It's just all adding to the amount of firepower that is available to the Terran. This infantry will want to pick off those rocks just to be on the safe side. That single Banshee is starting to be very, very frustrating, picking off pretty much anything it can target right now, mainly getting Stalkers. One Banshee goes down. Meanwhile, we've got some aggression literally everywhere around here. The factory getting good scouting information. We've got streams of yellow coming across the map, literally as those reinforcements come piling in. This third base is gone. Monchi is not going to be able to save that in the slightest. The Vikings in a very good position. If they come over here, the Colossus are going to have huge issues, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Could even see a Colossus get picked off here, but no, the Vikings are just staying on the safe side, but they get one Colossus to half health in just one volley. That is absolutely sick. More Vikings are on their way in. We could see some big engagement soon. We've got a stim coming down. One Colossus does fall. The second Colossus is going down as well very quickly. The Vikings aren't focused firing, which could be a small problem. So much of the Terran army is still alive, though. The Vikings landing now. Their job there is done, and it looks like Beasty has a far superior force here, and I think that's going to be game. And Monchi leaves. That was beautiful play by Beasty, to be honest. He did everything he needed to do and takes the series 2-1, so congrats to him. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy this series, please subscribe. I get new games up daily. Leave a cool comment on the videos, let me know what you thought of it, the individual games, and follow me on Twitter, that'd be great. But most importantly, I hope you did enjoy, and yeah, see you again tomorrow for another new cast. Bye for now.